let's go. This is the Historic Preservation Commission meeting for the City of Davenport for Tuesday, January 12th. I have a call of order. Do I have a roll call?
Les Tanguy. Les Tanguy.
Kevin. Yes.
Can you say present?
Present. Gotta turn the mute off.
Powers.
Yes.
Franken.
Yes.
Cochran. Looks like Cochran's not on.
Do we have a quorum?
We do have a quorum.
Alrighty. We have the Secretary's report, consideration of the October 13th, 2020 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
In a second?
I'll second it. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye, thank you. Under communications, really not much to be said other than this is the first Historic Preservation Commission meeting since the passing of our good friend and long-term Commissioner John Free, good friend of mine and good friend of all of ours. Over the decades, worked a great deal with the city of Davenport, and when we have a chance for the full commission to get together, I'm sure we'll say and do something and figure out what we're going to do to honor John and all of his efforts. Are there any other communications from staff?
None at this time.
Is there any
I think we mentioned it in our email earlier. We are anticipating an appointment before City Council tomorrow of a new commissioner to fill Joe Wonio's vacancy, and we are actively working to backfill John Freeze as well.
And if anyone at home is listening and they're interested, they can contact the mayor's office. Are there any communications from the commissioners? Is there any old business from staff?
Not at this time.
All right, new business. Case number DNR HP 20-01, being the request for the demolition of 1214 Christie Street in the Village of East Davenport National Historic District. Jonathan Roca, petitioner. It's Ward 5. Staff report?
Sure, the petitioner is coming before the commission today seeking approval to demolish the structure at 1214 Christie Street. This is a 1.5-story wood frame structure that was built in either late 1889 or early 1890. The applicant has provided a structural engineering report from Townsend Engineering. This report concluded that the reconstruction of this home would not be economically feasible due to the extent of demolition and reconstruction that is necessary. It found that the foundation walls, floor framing members, and support beams are overstressed, deteriorated, and failing, and it deemed the structure not suitable for rehabilitation. In 2019, a city inspector walked through the home and found a total of 24 building and fire code violations. So these range from mechanical, plumbing, and electrical failures, as well as deficiencies in the floor, ceiling, interior walls, doors, and windows. The applicant has also provided the commission with the cost estimate spreadsheet indicating that repairing and rehabilitating the existing 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom structure will cost roughly $153,000. So when staff receive applications for demolition, we also review the structure for criteria to list it as a locally designated property. So staff found that this property was not associated with any historic events or persons with the city of Davenport. The structure was lived and occupied largely by working class residents that often lived there for short periods of time. The longest resident resided there for a total of 12 years. Staff also found that our staff reviewed the historic building data sheet, which indicated that there was no architectural style that was identified with this structure. And in addition, the structure's interrelationship to the street and village was marked as neutral on this data sheet. There is no work associated with the master builder or craftsman or architect as associated with the structure. So after reviewing those criteria, staff found that this property does not meet the zoning ordinance criteria to designate this property as a local landmark. So for those reasons, staff is approving demolition of the structure in accordance with the engineering report.
All righty. The petitioner's here. Do you have anything that you'd like to speak to the commission about?
Nothing. That covered it pretty well.
All right. Committee members, commission members, is there any questions for staff or the petitioner? He is here. Seeing a lack of comment, do I have a motion to approve staff recommendation?
So moved.
I'll take your second.
Motion and a second to approve staff recommendation for the demolition of 1214 Christie. A roll call, please.
Powers,
Yes.
Lestangi,
Yes.
Franken,
Yes.
McGivern.
Yes. Good luck.
Motion carries.
Takes us to the second item on the agenda. That's case COA 21-01, being the request for the exterior alteration of the Wilhelm H. and Margarita Ellers Pullman House located at 502 West 8th Street in the Hamburg Local Landmark Historic District. Earl Ballin, I'm sorry, I killed that last name, is the petitioner. I'm sorry about that.
That was right.
Staff report.
Sure. So during the August derecho, a large tree on the neighboring property collapsed onto the resident's front porch, causing significant damage to not only the porch, but also a stained glass window on the second floor. So the applicant's seeking a certificate of appropriateness to do the following. So one is to repair the structural damage to the front porch. This includes replacing a support beam on the ceiling with a new beam that will match the previous in design and color. In addition, they will be repairing the front porch columns to replicate the design and visual qualities of the porch prior to the storm. They will also be repairing the front porch ceiling with a new stucco finish to match the existing color and material. And then they are in the process of repairing and reinstalling the stained glass window, which is located on the second floor of the west building elevation. So staff reviewed the project for conformance with the standards in the zoning ordinance and found that every reasonable effort was made to make the minimum number of changes necessary to maintain the designated property in a good state of repair, thereby minimizing the impact of the proposed alteration. And then finally, deteriorated architectural features are being repaired rather than replaced. And where the severity of deterioration requires replacement, the new features are matching the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities.
Is there any questions from the commissioners? Lack of questions, do I have a motion?
I'll move it. Howard.
Is there a second?
Okay. Okay.
There's a motion and a second for approval of our staff recommendation of the request for the exterior alteration. All in support? Yay?
Okay.
I kind of did that wrong, didn't I? I'm sorry. It's been a while. Roll call.
No
Jeez.
problem. Lestegi,
Yes.
Franken,
Yes.
Powers,
Yes.
McGivern.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Good luck. Sorry for your misfortune. That takes us to number C, the work plan review and development. Staff?
Sure, so the State Historic Preservation Office encourages local preservation commissions to develop work plans to demonstrate their progress. So the city of Davenport is a certified local government with SHPO. So this is part of our maintenance credit for this program. So we were hoping with this work session to review the 2020-2021 work plan and then develop ideas for the following year to include with our submission to recertify this commission. And the deadline for this is March 1st. So we will come back to this commission in February with today's comments incorporated into that work plan. So I will pull up our previous year's work plan so everyone can see it for discussion purpose. So this was included in last year's submission.
And as Matt and I are both new to Historic Preservation Commission, any input that you have would be greatly appreciated.
So for instance, under the calendar year 2021, there is a 2021 Preserve Iowa Summit, which is June 3rd through 5th in Council Bluffs. So this is a local conference that we could add to our training plan, and we can provide more information in the upcoming months on that meeting.
I assume that'll have a virtual option?
I will look into that and get back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, perhaps just the low-hanging fruit for project plans and initiatives we could just incorporate to fill all of our vacancies on the commission.
Okay. Well, I think the commissioners will have a chance to take a look at this. We'll have another new member next meeting, maybe two, and probably maybe hopefully have a chance maybe with conditions, maybe all to get together in the same room or somewhere in the same city and work on this a little bit more.
Yep, and if there's any kind of outreach to the community, I think that's one of the things that's highly encouraged with the certified local government, not only in maintaining our inventory of historic homes, but also providing education is one of those components that we're encouraged to do. Or if you find that there's certain information that you would like more of related to either the history of Davenport or how to run a board or commission or with any kind of architecture, we can definitely look into providing that information for you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Is there any other business with staff?
Not at this time.
Is there any business with public? Commissioners? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn, Powers.
A motion and a second to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.